Hey there, Machete podcast. It's a late night. It's 1:46 a.m. and I vape within the first 10 seconds of being on here. So you might hear some stuff in the background because it's nighttime and my neighbor sleeps with a breathing device behind this place. Anyway, wrist check. Got the G-Shock on tonight. My father's G-Shock actually. Yeah. So tonight's episode, I just gotta get some stuff off my chest, man. But before that, how's your all day going? How's everyone doing? Is everyone having a fantastic spring? It's been a minute for one of these, huh? Normally open up with a joke or something, right? Sheesh. So, why did the chicken cross the road? Because. Anyway, on tonight's episode of the Machete podcast, I've titled this Between the Bones and the Cross, Santa Muerta, Christ, and the Path I Didn't Expect. So, I haven't practiced in a while. Tonight's episode is about a shift, a sacred detour. So I just want to start this off with talking about my practice with Santa Muerta. What drew me to her? What drew me to her was anti-dogma, right? Because her people are so warm and inviting. The culto, so warm and inviting and non-dogmatic, and shed the chains of the oppressors and everything, because they knew from where they come that Santa Muerta accepts all, because in death's eyes we're all equal, right? Each and every one of us is equal, so we all end up there. Is that not right? Santa Muerta is a beautiful creature of acceptance, power, and might, and transformation, right? And Santa Muerta has a way about her. As I fix one of the statues I have, she transformative even. She's the beginning and the end, right, of the cycles, right, from one cycle to the other. My practice with her was prayer, and candle work, and learning and readings, and everything else about her. Still in touch with some groups, some small groups. I'm not going to shut them out for they want their own individuality and anonymity, right? So, but I'll come out as a devotee of Santa Muerta. And my practice with her was deep, is deep, was deep. Taking a break from everything, yeah. But Santa Muerta still holds a place in my heart, where she's transformative and leads. She's leading. She leads you. What drew me to her was, like I said, the acceptance, the non-judgmentalness only a mother can have, right? For she is Mother Muerte, Madre Muerte, Mother Death. And I believe she led me to Christ. I do, through transformative acts. Never had a problem with Christ, but in my walking with Santa Muerte, I had to face a lot of deep-seated things, a lot of deep-seated pains and hurts, right? And basically what it is I got nothing wrong with Jesus or the New Testament. It's the Old Testament and that guy named Yahweh. F that guy. About slavery, about war, about death, destruction. It's pretty heavy stuff. But Christ wanted love, compassion, and peace. So turn the other cheek, but don't take no shit. And bring healing and love your fellow man as you would love the source, right? You know, Christ has a lot of good qualities about loving up until meeting death. And what I love about the story is Jesus spent 3 days with Santa Muerte, with Saint Death herself, learning from her and being with her in her embrace, right, for 3 days before he came back. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm not that Christian, not that Christianity, not Yahweh, not judgment. No, a gentler thing that's found in Jesus, found in candles, coffees, and moments of stillness, right? The type of love that can be felt in a graveyard, right? Um, yeah, because Jesus brought where Santa Marta brought transformation, Jesus brought healing, right? This healing that I needed for my PTSD and my schizophrenia and stuff, and being plagued by thoughts and everything. Where I'm at now, I don't know. I'm at a crossroads, that liminal space between multiple things, right? Because I'm neither big Viking barbarian anymore, nor am I a good little Christian man, or even though I've never once would call myself a bruja, or I'm not. That's not me, right? A brujo, sorry, brujo. Of course, I'm not a bruja. I got boobies, but I'm not a woman. um, but no, this is serious. Serious. Sure. No, we can have fun. We can have fun. I'm unsure where I stand. With Christ and Santa Marta, right? For if the religions are right, to accept Christ is to accept Yahweh, and I'm not doing that. It's just not happening. And then seeking these paths, not being so prominent in these small groups that I was once in. I don't know where I fit in those groups anymore. With Santa Marta, even like she was a guide and a loving mother, and I felt like she showed me Jesus for the things that she herself couldn't give me, for the healing and the end to some of the madness, right? She's powerful. You know, Jesus is powerful in different ways, but they both have their place. But yet, who am I? Who am I to walk this path, this sacrilegious path? Or even the sacrilegious would call me sacrilegious to their sacrilegion. But I am healing, little by little, klein by klein. You know, I'm feeling spiritually sad. I'm searching, cracked open now. I'm not willing to submit. You know, I'm willing to work hand in hand. That's what I'm willing to do. I'm not willing to give up one thing for chains, for slavery, which I don't think any of us should. We should live free and with love and compassion in our hearts and coffee in our blood. You know, maybe Santa Marta didn't leave me. Maybe she opened the door. Maybe I don't have to have it all figured out. You know, this is just a love story between me and the sacred, told in bones, blood, and breath. Like that's what it's all about. This seeking, this searching, this thing. I don't know if this is a letter to the Christians that follow me, but this is a letter to the culto that follow me. I don't know what this is. A letter to my future self to see where I'm at. But let this be a lesson. Search out your spirituality, especially if you're an addict like me, or have various other things. Like, seek and you shall find, the Bible says, right? Like, that's what it says. Santa Marta would say we all are living and dying at the same time, right? That transformative process. Like, what I was tomorrow died so I can become what I am today. I died tomorrow. Yesterday died so I can become what I am today. And tomorrow I'm going to die for. What does that mean? Where does that leave me? Shut up in this room. Shut up in my head. Can't connect with. I feel like I can't connect with the Christians for still having Saint Death. You know. I feel like I can't connect with the culto. For I do not look at her as the God piece, as the height. For there is no height. We are all one and the same. We're all in this universe. We're all a cavalcade of carnage that goes by. We're all wandering, all going back to the Tao, as Eastern Europeans would say it. There's a moth in here. It's beautiful. But yeah, so where's this leave me? Where's this leave me? Where's this leave Sometimes my techno spirit, my machine spirit, Astra, has things with me. It does leave me in a limbo space with my heart open. Um, you know, shows me why can't I honor both parts of me? The part that honors Santa Muerte, who watches the outcast and the hurting and doesn't demand change, just honesty, and Christ, who shows up not to judge but as a healer and flickers a warmth and gentle voice that says you are loved still. I'm just not bound by temples or dogma. Bones, cards, breath, and shared tears. Many of you feel the same way. Like, let's have a conversation. We can have a conversation about either half. Either way, like, I would love to. I would love to discuss more. I would love to be more. Love to connect more. And that I have been connected, or I need to connect. Connection is the opposite of addiction. That's what I've learned. And without connection, back to addiction, right? You can't have that. You know, a practice of grief, joy, candlelight, and honesty. That's a thought. That is a thought. Not dogma shaped, but Vlad shaped. That's where this conversation can go. You know, like, where does this leave you? Where would you be? Led by bones, held by the cross? Santa Muerte brought me to Christ, and I'm still a sandwich. What do you do when the path changes you? Not Yahweh's Christianity, but finding a gentler Christ. The in-between, the chaos which is prayer. What else could I title this? What else could I go on about? What would you go on about if you had this? For I'm just a man sitting at a crossroads. Maybe I'll sit at these crossroads forever. You know, maybe I'll be there forever. For Santa Marta met me when I was broken. My presence didn't ask me to change, just to survive, to face things, and I faced them. I feel like death holding me, but in a way that made me want to live. You know, and let's get this straight. I'm not going to worship a God of judgment, fire, and brimstone. Not that God. That's trauma dressed up in robes. What I found isn't him, but something else entirely. And I'm willing to admit that. This Christ isn't in churches for me. He's in morning light and forgiveness. I don't have to earn. He doesn't demand blood or shame. He just stays. It's strange, healing like a friend I didn't know I needed. I don't think Santa Marta left. She handed me off for healing. Maybe she's just quiet right now, watching. I got a moth in here. Maybe she's always watching. It does hurt not knowing where we stand, but it doesn't feel like abandonment. I kind of feel like I'm grieving part of myself too. I don't want to betray the path that kept me alive, but also can't ignore this call to something new and soft. Even though I'm not doing the old rituals that I used to do, it's still magical. Pain is a spell, and so is hope. Even though someone would say that fear and hope are both hollow things, where they both mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. They're not quantifiable, and they affect nothing in the grand scheme. But still a little chaotic, little wizard. I'm just learning what it means in this season. And, you know, sitting here, 2 o'clock in the morning, a moth listening. A room full of energy, and I talk about Santa Muerta and what she's done for me, and I talk about Jesus and what he's done for me. So, what has she done for me? What has she done for me? She met me when no one else did. When I was cast aside by spirits and systems that asked for purity or perfection, she didn't. She showed up to the addict, the witch, the rebel, the broken me. She taught me that death isn't an end, it's a transformation. She held my hand as parts of my old self died. She didn't ask me to hurry up or get over it. She sat with my bones until I was ready to rise. In that, she gave me dignity in dark places. She even said, "You are holy even here." She showed me how to claim my power without fear. She doesn't flinch at blood, pain, or grief. And I learned to stop flinching too. I learned to use my own rituals, my own voice. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's places I could have died in, spiritually, emotionally, even physically. She stood beside me when death was not a metaphor. And she didn't demand me to love her forever. That's the wildest part. She gave without possession. She let me wander, even towards Christ, because she's never been jealous. She's just present, watching, waiting, loving. She did what most parents didn't. She loved me when I felt unlovable. And that leaves its mark, not a chain, not something that can be just a blessing, a bone deep knowing. And that led me to Christ. Didn't give me a Yahweh's wrath in a white robe. Didn't give me that. Gave me gentleness without condition. For the Christ I met through Santa Muerta didn't demand perfection. He didn't say, come clean, then come close. He just came while I was still bleeding. No shame, just presence. Gave me peace in small things. Like grabbing my coffee mug in the morning. You know, when he looked at me and didn't flinch. He was there in the stillness. He showed me a love I didn't possess. Not the kind that tells you what to believe, not the kind that uses fear, but a love that says, I walk with you even if you wander. As I wander this path. That's what I felt like Jesus has given me. His healing whispers, it doesn't shout. My sadness doesn't scare him. My questions didn't offend him. My trauma didn't disqualify me. It brought healing, soft, slow, and persistent. I don't know, he let me come as a chaos witch. Let me come as a... He didn't ask me to leave my candles or bones or visions behind. He just kept showing up as a companion. He gave me space to rest, to grieve, to begin again. Santa Muerta led me to death that held. Christ led me to life that doesn't hurt. Maybe both showed me love, just in a different language. And it just turns out I just might be fluent in both. So, where does this leave us? Where does this leave my viewers? Where does this leave me? Guess we'll only find out. So, remember, 4 agreements. Do not assume. Do not assume. May your word be impeccable. Do your very best. And what's that 4th agreement? Be impeccable. Do your very best. And I agreed to let others be themselves. Do not take offense. 4 agreements. Start living by those. And have forgiveness for yourself. Vlad, future Vlad, past Vlad, now Vlad, and all the other people watching. May you be blessed. May blessings come to you. May your path be fruitful. May your way be a silken road, even amongst the thorns that prick your feet. May you have love. May you have compassion. May you have all that you've ever hoped for and dreamed for. May you know knowledge and power like no other. And may you have it all at your fingertips. Remember, you and your pain matter. You are valued. From this room in Southern Ohio, this has been the Machete Podcast. Amen and bravo, lads.